Hi, and welcome back. In this chapter, we're going to talk about surface, color, and textures. Up to now, all our objects have been this blah, white-gray kind of color. If you've been building some things, you maybe have used some lights with some different colored lighting effects to simulate color on objects, and that was fine for a little bit, but it's actually pretty darn easy to put colors and textures on objects in Unity, so we're going to get to that right now. So open Unity. There's our splash screen. And here we go. Of course, it comes up in our last project. So we're going to do File, New Project, and Browse to a location. Of course, I like the desktop. And create a new folder, and we're going to call this Unity_texture, and select the folder and create the project. Sort of seems to close, comes back with a splash screen, and eventually there we go. Okay, we've got our blank project and we're ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to click on the cube in the center of the little gizmo up here in the upper right to get to the perspective view. And then game object, create other. I'm going to add a plane, and it's kind of small there, so I'm going to come into the inspector. First, I'm going to set the position to the origin, 0, 0, 0. And then I'll set the scale, and remember we don't need Y, but we'll set X and Z both to be 5, and there it is. And I'm going to hold down Alt and hold down the center mouse button, which is the scroll wheel, and then scroll in. I'm just going to click the F key to frame that up there. Okay, that looks good, all ready to go. Game object, create other. Now I'm going to add a sphere. Again, it's tiny, so we'll come over here and we'll position it at 0, 5, 0. Then I'm going to set the scale at 10, 10, 10, which basically puts it on the plane. Now I'm going to zoom in, and fine, now we're ready to go. Not quite ready to go. We need to add a light to the scene. So game object, create other, and we'll make it a directional light. And we're going to come into the inspector. Now position doesn't matter for directional light, but usually they're just placed sort of high in the Y direction, just so that they kind of look like a light that might be intuitive. I'm going to give it a rotation in X and Y of 30. See, it's angling down. Let's rotate the scene around, so hold down the Alt key and left click and drag, and there we go. Now we're looking at it, and fine. So now we're ready to create our material. And the way we do that is in the project window in the bottom center, and if you look right below project, there's a menu there called create. So we're going to open the create menu and select material. We get a new material. We're going to call this plane material. P-L-A-N-E, not P-L-A-I-N. And hit enter. And then up here in the inspector, we have this little swatch, main color. And just like the color for the lights, we can come in and we can give this a color. We can come in and type in numbers to change that, RGB values. We can use the sliders. Now the last one down there that says A, that's alpha channel, which is transparency. We may use that later, but not now. We'll click off of it. So there it is. It's kind of flat. So we're going to change it to specular. Specular means it's got a highlight. And the highlight color is gray. We're going to come in here and make it a lighter color, shinier. You can see there it's looks a little shinier. And now if you look all the way down at the bottom here of the inspector, we have this line that says preview. Well, we can actually open this up like a window, and zoop, there it is. And we see that highlight. Okay, now we have a shininess slider. And if we move this, you can see that highlight gets bigger and smaller. Now, a shiny, very shiny material actually has a smaller highlight. A non-shiny material has a larger highlight, kind of opposite how you might think of it initially. But that's the way it works. A couple other things we can do here in the preview window. There's these couple of buttons in the upper right corner. And the first one here, that's got the two little dots, lets you change the angle that the lights are being viewed at. So I come down here and I click, and I've got a different lighting angle. Now the other one here lets me cycle through primitive objects to see how the lighting looks on different objects. Okay, so that's fine, that's great. All kinds of preview stuff, but let's get this material on the plane. And that turns out to be very easy. So all we need to do is come down to the material here in our project window and left click and drag on the plane material to the plane. And look at that, there it is. Easy as could be. So we've got a nice material on here. It's got a specular highlight. Can't really see the highlight on the plane. If it was on a curved surface, you could see it a little better. But the thing is, it's just a color. And once upon a time, you might have been able to get away with having just colors in objects in games. But if you've played any recent games, you know that that's not really going to work these days. That you've got to have much more complicated materials that have all kinds of different patterns and even bumpiness and other things. So we need to kind of get beyond this, and we will. And that's where we'll go in our next video.